When it comes to biochemistry, we don't need to go too in-depth. The reason being, we'll cover most of this in full during the ChemQuest series. For now, let's focus on some key points. Elements, compounds, and molecules. An element cannot be broken down into different substances through chemical reactions. A compound consists of two or more elements in a fixed ratio. Examples of compounds include table salt, NaCl, and water, H2O. Notice that we use subscripts to indicate multiple atoms. An important acronym to remember is OCHN or CHON, CHON, which illustrates the four most important elements that comprise 96% of all living matter, in this order: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen. The remainder of the elements include certain other important elements and some that are found in less than 1% quantities, which are known as trace elements. Trace elements. Atoms themselves are composed of smaller subatomic particles, which include protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons have positive charge, neutrons have a neutral charge, and electrons have negative charge. Protons and neutrons are packed in the nucleus of the atom, while electrons rapidly move around the outside, forming a sort of electron cloud. This number, in this common representation of how an element like hydrogen might look on the periodic table, is called the atomic number. This number is how elements are ordered on the periodic table. This number is the mass number. The mass number is the sum of the number of protons and neutrons in the atom. Hydrogen has one proton and no neutrons, which is why it has a mass number of 1. In the periodic table, the mass number is usually omitted. This is the atomic mass. It's only important to note that this is different from the mass number, as we'll go more in depth on this topic in the chemistry series. All atoms of an element have the same number of protons, but can have different numbers of neutrons. Each version of the atom with a different number of neutrons is called an isotope, and they're written with the mass number attached to the end. Like carbon-12, which has 6 protons and 6 neutrons, giving it a mass number of 12. And carbon-13, which has 6 protons and 7 neutrons, giving it a mass number of 13. Electrons are arranged into shells, and the outermost shell has a special name. It's called the valence shell, and it's important for chemical bonding because the atoms always want to fill in their valence shells. Chemical bonding is how the atoms become tightly attached to each other and form molecules. There are two main types of chemical bonds. The first is a covalent bond, where the atoms share electrons. Certain atoms can make multiple covalent bonds. The number gives them the name of either single, double, or triple bond. Different atoms have different pulls on the shared electrons, though, which is called their electronegativity. If the difference of electronegativity in two atoms is large, the bond is polar covalent, and the sharing of electrons is unequal. In water, the oxygen can hold onto the electrons for longer than the hydrogen atoms can. This gives it a partially negative charge, represented by a lowercase delta symbol and a minus sign. Meanwhile, the hydrogens will have delta positive charges. In similar electronegativity cases, the bond is called nonpolar covalent and has more equal sharing of electrons. Something like nitrogen gas, or N2, would show this property. Note that this bond here is a triple bond. The other main type of chemical bonds are ionic bonds. Here, the difference in electronegativity is so large that one atom completely takes an electron from the other, creating two ions, or charged atoms. The one that loses the electron is positively charged, and is called a cation, while the one that gains an electron is negatively charged, and is called an anion. These opposite charges cause the atoms to be attracted towards each other. It should be known that ionic bonds are generally weaker than covalent bonds. Chemical reactions involve the making and breaking of chemical bonds. We write the reactions using this white arrow. The substances on this side are called the reactants, while the substances on this side are called the products. Notice that the big numbers, the coefficients, mean multiple molecules, while the subscript means multiple atoms in one molecule. That's about all we had to cover for this introductory chemistry lesson. There will be a few more parts to this series where we'll cover water, carbon, and other important molecules. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.